Hello.
Hello, hold on. Let me close your stream so I'm not hearing you twice.
Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Hello.
Hey, how's it
Uh,
going?
it's going pretty good.
Nice.
Uh,
Maybe
so,
you could do a quick intro for
uh,
people. Just be like, where you're from, tag,
oh,
Maine.
okay. So I'm LowercaseHero. I'm from Wisconsin. From what I've heard, I might be the number one player there in the PR now. I am a Fox main, and today I was going to ask how to fix bad habits. One of the things I've been struggling with recently is just like I feel like I have a lot of bad habits, and I'm trying to fix them, but I'm not sure how to. I know you're not supposed to fix them all immediately, and I was just wondering how you would go about that. I have two other questions. We'll see if we get to it. This video I sent you is just like random like friendlies I've had like with like habits I've noticed in them. It's not very organized. It's not super organized, which I know might make it more difficult to help, but I was just thought I'd record friendlies of like my gameplay, and I have listed out a lot of like my matchup habits. I don't know necessarily like how helpful that will be, but I was just wondering like if what your advice would be on switching like habits in general.
Okay. Okay.
Like
So wait, you said you had a list of habits, or
yeah, I have like I listed out like a lot of them too.
is that
Too.
in the video, or?
It's not the end of the video. It's I have a document I can
Oh,
share with you
okay. Yeah, I
if you.
mean, you could. I'd be
But I
fine with that.
Yeah, they're in specific matchups, but they basically all apply to all of the other ones. Like it'd be like against so like for example, one of mine would be like I double up tilt a lot in Falcon and stuff
Mm-hmm.
against Falcon. You'll see it in this game with Mech, I think, or at least I do like I you know how KJH calls doubling down. I like double down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the recording is a little scuffed, but
No, that's okay.
yeah, yeah. Like I'll like what try to like land up tilt a lot, or I'll do a lot of double jumps out of hit stun every time, or I'll constantly high up B, like things like that. I was just wondering how you would like go about trying to fix those kind of
Okay.
thing. Eh,
Normally when I have a bad habit, I it's because I don't really understand the situation that well. A lot
Okay.
of times it comes from like you're sort of trying to cover a bunch of options. Like basically the same calculation kind of gets repeated in your head every time. Of kind of
Oh.
like if you up tilt and you're like, oh no, they're totally gonna punish my up tilt, and then you're like, but if they run in, maybe they'll get up tilted again, and like that's kind of the logic of the double up tilt, and
Yeah.
sometimes it works too, but then like once if you really look at the situation and you look at how you get punished, then you're like, okay, wait a minute. After a single up tilt, a lot of times people will just bait the second up tilt because of how often people, double down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, like, let's say I have that habit where I just double up tilt against Falcon at all. What
Yeah.
I'll do is anytime I do an up tilt, I will just purposely do literally anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I told myself like like in my head I was just like, all right, I've been trying to work on doing literally anything else out of up tilt. Like I'll like full hop or like I'll run in grab because a lot of Falcons like well run up shield and they'll wave dash away shield. But like I find still I like still randomly do it and like because like I guess I won't take the time to switch that one habit on purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm not focusing too hard. I'm like I'm skipping past things when I'm not actually past them. Maybe that's my problem. I'm thinking but I
Yeah,
don't.
it's possible. Like, I think that bad habits are a really weird thing where, like, it's sometimes they don't really go away.
Yeah.
Like, there are certain things where like you might have like a bad habit in tournament or something and you think you're over it, and then like 3 years in the future you're playing like a really intense set and then suddenly you do it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really hard to fully get over anything that's ever been in your brain, but you can like overwhelmingly cover it up.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times what helps the most, And I think this is a thing for changing habits in real life too, is that you don't beat a habit by just not doing it. You beat a habit by replacing it with something. That's like by far the easiest thing to do.
Okay.
So you could say like, okay, maybe when I up tilt, I always dash back after or something.
Yeah.
And then like because it, dashing back afterward, if you do it every time, it's still a little predictable, but it's still definitely better than doing like the high commitment double up tilt,
Yeah. I think Cody
So
brought that up to me once before. But yeah, what were you saying? Continue.
so just a lot of times it'll be like you so you need to give your brain like a reward for doing doing a different thing. So you can even get like a friend to help you out with it, but just or like a 20xx replay or something. But have like you doing an up tilt and then do an up like okay, so like basically do up tilt and then do a second up tilt. And then like let's say you have either your friend or like a CPU that you programmed in like 20xx to do like to bait out the second up tilt, like you missed the first up tilt and they dash dance and then they like stomp after the second up tilt or whatever. And then so you get that replay by them, or you have your friend repeat the situation and then do an up tilt in that same spot and then like counter them waiting for the up tilt. And then or just up tilt and then run away or whatever. But a lot of times you need positive reinforcement for something before you can really change a habit, because like if double up tilt is bad but double up tilt keeps working, it's really difficult to be like, brain, this is a bad idea, because it's like, hey, I'm not getting caught. So like how bad could it really be is like what your brain is thinking, like. So it's kind of like you have to go down from your conscious mind all the way to like lizard brain, basically, of like basic like dopamine and stuff. Like, hey brain, like you'll probably be a lot happier in a second if you do this other option instead of the up tilt, and like convincing your brain that like, like the up tilt reward isn't nearly as much as the reward from doing this other thing there, and that a lot of times is what can help you sort of break the habit in that case.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Because if you don't replace it with anything, your brain is like, no, this gets me a reward, and I don't know what else to do here, so I'll do it. And you won't be able to stop yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I also I think I saw you tweet about this recently. And this is a habit I've really struggled with, and I heard also Mango struggled with too. He said that I always approach from too far away,
yeah.
What are you gonna say?
No, just approaching from too far away is like everyone in the community thinks their issue is approaching from too far away, because like approaching from too far away is like almost like a natural issue. It's kind of like, I overextended on my combo, and it's kind of like, well, it's really hard to extend just the right amount on a combo,
Yeah.
Where like you don't want to like underextend, like you don't want to end your combo early or not get all you can out of it. But then when you're trying to push that line and get right on the edge of pushing it too far, a lot of times you just will. And so like we're all trying to play at like the very like the perfect spot where we're not too close and not too far. And it's just really easy to be like, this is the right spot to approach from. And then your opponent dashes back just a little bit. And then now that approach looks like it was from too far away. Wow. Whereas like if they dashed in, you wouldn't have thought about it. You would have been like, oh, that was a good approach,
Yeah.
So I think like we all like literally there isn't a single top player who doesn't think that they have a bad problem with approaching from too far away. And it's just because the game state is really fast and complicated, and a lot of times approaching from too far away is more of like a failed mix-up. And I can understand like trying to fix it by being like, okay, if I'm at the very edge of the range where it might be too far away, I need to watch out for them moving back. So I probably shouldn't approach from this range type of thing. So you can try to fix it, but I don't think it's really like a solvable issue.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just kind of something like that's kind of how you lose situations, is like your opponent tricks your spacing up just a little bit or something like that, you know?
Okay. Yeah, like they yeah, like okay, that would make, I guess that explains, because another thing I was going to ask you eventually was so I feel like when I'm like, so Cody told me this thing a while ago where you have to dash dance like you have to mix up your timing with your dash dance, and you have to get into like you have to be in their threat range, right? Where you have to do like long dash dances to threaten like other people, like the Ditto, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always struggle because I feel like I always make the decision last, or like I never make the decision at the right time. Like when I go for a
Hmm.
commitment, I I get hit and I die, or when I don't commit, I'm in the corner and I die. Right? At least it happens against anyone who's like better than me. Like I play like
Mm-hmm.
Sora or Ashwa, Cody too. Like Cody will make a decision like 10 times faster than me. You played him, he'll just run you over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like I really struggle at making like those kind of decisions too, and like I feel like that's like a bad habit. Maybe it's just because I'm not reacting in my dash dance, but it's so hard to like be like, oh, I just didn't react. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, okay, so it's okay, so I think it's a very common issue, and the reasoning behind why it happens is kind of like, so hmm you shouldn't think of it as much from a perspective of like, do I try something or do they try something? That is sort of ignoring a lot of what's going on.
Okay.
The game is not as much like, am I just waiting to react to what they do, or are they waiting to react to what I do? It's more of like, so basically, you want to, so basically the thing is that things are happening all the time. There
Yeah.
isn't like a time when things aren't happening.
Yeah.
So so you shouldn't ever be like, oh well, I was waiting for my opponent to do something, but then when they did, I couldn't react to it, because that means that you weren't doing anything except waiting, and they were doing things, and that's why you usually get hit out of that spot, because you're waiting and just reacting, so they're able to just like bait you out or set up a position where they can win, because you're being too passive in the sense that like you're not actively doing things. So
Yeah.
think of it as like there's like a game state, which is like, I'll call it like a position, and it's just some game state, you know, and like you, any buttons you press or don't press, like if you don't press anything, then that is like a positional transformation, because you're like, oh, if I dash back, you know, and my opponent does nothing, for instance, I have now increased the space between us, you know.
Okay.
But if you dash back and your opponent dashes forward, you haven't, all you've done is corner yourself. And
Mm.
so they are also, every input or non-input they do is also transforming the position. And a lot of this game is trying to be like, my transformation plus my opponent's transformation equals position that is good for me. Like I
Okay.
have them in the corner, I have some sort of aggro mix up or something like that. So like there's definitely never a break. Like never be like, "Oh, I'm just dash dancing and waiting." Like that's not a thing.
Okay.
Every moment you need to be transforming the position, or look like, you know, you're looking for a good positional transformation. And a lot of times that looks something like, "Okay, I want to be at this range." and they want to be at this other range. So and you're both trying to prevent the other person from getting into the range or spot they want. And
Mm.
so there are varying degrees of like, well, if I move into this position, it's kind of like, okay, somebody wants you on the ground in the corner. So if you full hop to the side platform, then there's no positional transformation they can do that will end up with you in the corner under the platform, you know?
Okay.
And that's just sort of like a really, really basic example. But basically, the idea is like you don't really just want to be going for, like you're saying like, oh, when I go for stuff, I also just get hit out of it, and a lot of times that's because you have not yet transformed the position into a spot where your approach is advantageous there, either as like a whiff punish or a pressure, and
Mm.
so it's just you need a little bit more behind what you do, because if you're either like, well, I wait and then I go in, or I wait until I get hit, you're kind of not playing the game at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's like that's exactly how I feel. Like I was talking to myself the other day. I was like thinking, I'm like every time like I make a decision, it's either too passive or too aggressive, and like I just don't understand like how you get to the point where you like set up something and like it will manifest on the screen. Like the best way, like in this game against Mech, I'm pretty sure he's like back airing or naring, and I run at him, and like instead of like dashing back when I have the like when like I know that he knows that I know that I want to up smash him, right, or something, right, and
Mm-hmm.
like and instead of dashing back and then he whiffs like a stomp in place or a back air in place, I just run right into it instead of like I set up the play to make like an aggressive mix up or something, but then
Mm-hmm.
I just don't do it. I just hold W, and I do that like a lot. That's also like a habit of mine. Like I just
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
it's
or
it.
what you
Go
saying?
for it.
I was gonna say, or like there'll be like a Marth, right? They'll be dash dancing, and I know they're gonna be fishing for down tilt, and I'll just be dash dancing, waiting for them to come in, and then they'll nair, and then I'll dash back, and then I'm in the corner, right? And then I will drill, or then I'll try to fight out of the corner, but then obviously I'm cornered and I'll get knocked down or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I give them all the stage. Same thing with like Puff. They start like low back airing, and I back up, and I start lasering, and then I'm in the corner, and then I get like grab mixed up or they read my jump or something, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of those kind of things. Like I'm either too passive or too aggressive, and I
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's like one thing I super struggle with. I feel like, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I think part of that is like it seems like you're just sort of like, well, if I get out of the way of their move, then I'll play neutral. But you don't really have enough of a plan beyond that. And that's what I'm saying, where like things need to be very active. So like here, take it for example, this situation that's kind of paused on the screen.
yeah,
Um, so I'll give an example of like a situation in this matchup. Okay, so like let's say Fox is dash dancing here, Falcon has not shielded yet, and then Fox gets to this range. Let's say you're in the middle of a dash dance at this range.
yeah,
So you have somehow in the dash dance battle gotten to this range, and Falcon is kind of, let's say he whiffed some move, so he can't immediately dash back
yeah,
and get out of the way. And so you're like, okay, so you made it to here, and Falcon can't immediately dash back for whatever reason. So that is a good position for you. And you're like, okay, well, why is it a good position for me? And so here's why, is that you're like, you now have a threat of a nair or a drill. You have some sort of pressure, like a short hop aerial pressure on Falcon,
yeah,
because he doesn't have a way to really get away. And so what he wants is he wants to shield that early aerial, like that nair. He wants you to nair, and so he can get a shield grab. And
yeah,
so he's like, okay, that's what I want. And then, so when you dash dance for a second and you're not really giving him the shield grab, he feels pressured to not keep holding shield. But he still is pretty sure you're going to go for this instant aerial because you're in the position to do so. So something really common out of this spot will be Falcon shields, and then he does like a short hop nair right here. And so if you went in early, you would get shield grabbed. And if you waited a second and then jumped in, you would get nared. And I think a lot of people get stuck there. But what you can do here is you can be like dash dancing, and then he shields, and then you dash dance a little bit more, and when he nares, you have to make a timing mix-up, obviously. But you can actually just dash through Falcon. And then he'll be naring with his back to you, and then a lot of times you can punish the nair from behind with either like a back air or an up tilt or a grabbing on the landing. And that would kind of be like an example of like how Fox wins the situation, is like, oh, he got into a spacing on the ground that was really good for him, which forced the opponent to kind of deal with certain threats, and then you move around their response to your threats in a way that sets up an even more advantageous position, stuff like that. So you kind of want to use any sort of good position or threat you have, rather than being like, this is a good nair spot, so I'll nair, you know? You want to use the good nair spot to threaten the nair, which causes them to defend against the nair, and then you can move into a position that is stronger than just nairing them. You know, it could be a winning position, like whiff punishing, or it could just be that you're in an even more advantageous position based on whatever it is. Like maybe they're recovering, and you're like, oh, I could full hop and back air them. But they might, so you have the threat of full hop back air. Like your brain is like, that's a good full hop back air position. But they still have their double jump. So what you might do is you might do full hop, but instead of back airing, you just do the full hop. They see the full hop and double jump, and then you do double jump back air and hit them out of their double jump. And now, you know, so you took a good position, which is, if they don't do anything, I can get a free back air. And you turn that into, now they have no double jump, and I got my back air. Because you used the threat of, this is a good position for me, but I'm not going to take advantage of it. I'm going to threaten that I'll take advantage of it, so that you have to act, putting you in an even worse position. And it's sort of, neutral is like when both characters are not really in a position where they can necessarily do that type of advantage. And a lot of times the dash dance game and the platform game, when nobody really has a major advantage, this sort of movement around the platforms is both players doing a bunch of positional transformations where they're doing their best to make each decision fairly safe, while trying to trick the opponent into putting themselves in a bad position. And a lot of times, out of like a neutral dash dance situation or something, you're not going to directly get something. You'll get something like you dash dance, and you act like you're going to go in, but you don't, and Falcon nairs, but you can't really get a punish. And then you're dash dancing again, and Falcon kind of nairs because he thinks you're going to approach again, and you don't really get a punish. And a lot of times when players are in that type of position, they get like frustrated. But it's not. But it's nothing to be frustrated about. It's just that you maintained an even position. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you're playing tag, and there's like a round, like a table or something. Not even a round table, but some sort of table, you know. And you're trying to like catch someone around the table, but they're on the opposite side. And every time you like go around one way, they just circle around the other, so that you're like on even positions. That's kind of what's happening. And your goal is like, I have to figure out like some kind of a juke here so that I can get into an advantageous position, rather than like this maintaining neutral position thing. But when you're doing that, when you go to the right and then they go to their right and you end up in an even position, that is not bad. That is simply like what's happening on the way to you trying to get an advantageous position. Like, the maintenance, or not maintenance, but like a neutral position continuing to exist should not feel bad at all. And I feel like it feels bad to a lot of people. They feel like they're missing opportunities to hit their opponent. And it's just not a thing. Like, as long as you aren't being put in a negative position, nothing has gone wrong. It's like if you gamble, you know, and every time you lose a hand of poker, you lose $0, but when you win the pot. That'd be pretty great. Yeah. It's not like whenever you had a neutral hand, or like you lost and you lost no money or whatever, or like, let's say, you know, you're playing poker and everybody folds. that's not like, oh man, like I could have won that hand. It's like, nah, everybody folded. You know, like
Yeah.
nothing bad happened. It's okay because you have an opportunity to do better on the next one. You know.
Yeah, what you said made a lot of sense. Now I'm starting to understand what people mean, like when I don't know, like Cody will be like, oh, I made this guy think he's gonna up tilt, so read him trying to punish like my up tilt or
Mm-hmm.
something, or
Mm-hmm.
like when I've heard Zane say like I down tilt so foxes think they have to jump, but then I nair them while they're on the platforms, jumping to the platforms
Yeah,
because
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, that makes a lot of sense actually. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, but those are that's like stuff that I like super struggle with. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I like a lot of positions like that. I think are pretty bad for me. But I think my other question was, I guess I had I guess it goes into the same thing as the question as the Fox Ditto, which was like the dash dance timing thing. But let me go into the video and see exactly where I'm in the Fox Ditto. Can you go to? I think it's 24. Yeah, around 24, like or 23. Yeah, on the FD. I th- I think I played this guy and he just like had a super like huge read on like my habits here. Maybe I was like missing execution, but I was just wondering what you thought on like how I was playing here, or like how I should be able to like adapt to how other people are adapting to me. Basically, if like I have a bad habit, like how would you switch out like things when when you feel like someone is reading your habits, basically. So I think I got like three stocks or
Yeah,
something.
normally, like if somebody is hard reading a habit, I just try to think of a hard counter to their habit read.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, let's say you've played someone before. Let's talk about it. Let's say they already know your habits.
Yeah.
And this is because otherwise, you have to give them time for like learning your habit and stuff like that. Let's ignore that. Let's say they already know your habit. You've played them a bunch of times before, and now you're in this game on FD, and stock one, they hard read your bad habit, and
Yeah.
they kill you. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
ow, they hard read my bad habit. Then the next stock, if you like theoretically, this is purely theoretical, you could hard counter them reading that same habit and kill them, and it would be even.
Oh, okay.
Right? So as as long as you like a hard read on your habit is something that is definitely risky in the sense that like it should only work once, and if they go for it more than once, they might like you might be able to just take it back.
Okay.
um I think that, and if you end up in a situation where like they hard read your habit, then the next time you try to hard counter their hard read of your habit and they read that, then they're just in your head. And you have to take the L. Because
That's
at
fair.
that point like they just know what you're thinking. And so, in that case, you better start reading their habits extra hard too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's just yeah. I guess that's just when they
Okay, so
got you.
you're Red Fox?
No, I'm White Fox
You're
this
White
one.
Fox. Okay.
I had like a skin on, so it was,
Dragon Warrior.
yeah. It's a Kung Fu Panda thing.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
uh, yeah. So like this guy would like see
Okay.
that was me reading like a drill in place, and I think I almost kill him here and then I die.
No, this was a completely good neutral opening. I actually like this a lot. It's not, you don't rush into it. You start out, so one thing is this wave dash back is really bad. And a lot of people do this wave dash back because the thing is it's not that bad in other matchups. Like it's pretty good against like say Falco. But it's really not good in the Ditto, and it's this wave dash back right here.
Mm.
So the issue is that let's say your opponent randomly thought you were going to go in here, and he literally up smashed in place. If you wave dash back at the same time he up smashes, you can't punish it because you're stuck in wave dash lag.
Yeah.
So it's really important to not wave dash in neutral unless you have a good reason to, because it will completely stop your ability to like whiff punish people.
Yeah.
But okay, so this is a good read. You kind of got neutral established. You kind of know, you're like, I'm doing my drill. This guy's like, I'm doing my drill, and you're like, oh no, you aren't. I grabbed you. So this was totally good. You said, I think you said you got like reversaled or something off of this.
Yeah, I do the full combo, and I'm pretty sure I drop it. Like, well, like I missed an edge guard over here. Like
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then I think
So
I
this was
got
definitely a kill right here. So I'm not sure you know. I'm sure you know about this because you watched Cody's stream actually. But
yeah.
the correct answer here is to side B.
Oh, yeah,
So what you
Armada side.
because so this is like a mix up that basically completely dominated Fox Dittos for like a couple years, and until Armada started doing the side B here in 2015.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was 2015. So, but basically, this was like a mix-up. I'm pretty sure Leffen came up with this. Armada might have. But the idea is that like you can't both beat the you can't beat the shorten to ledge and going on stage with any sort of like back air or grab ledge or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so this comes up quite a bit. So the solution is you just hold ledge, and if they cancel or shorten, they die. And if they don't shorten and they do this, you just jump up, double jump, side B here, and you'll catch them, and you get a free either a grab or an up smash here, and they die.
Yeah.
So that's just like not having that exact solution. You did nothing else wrong there except not knowing about that side B. That should have been just a guaranteed stock if you knew about it. So nothing wrong there at all.
Yeah. Where did I die here? I think I know. I think I get like reversal like right here. Yeah, and then like that was so he kept reading my double jump in the corner, and I do that a lot, like this. Like I do like shine.
I see.
See, so like,
yeah. I think so the full hop in this position is like overwhelmingly safe a lot of times in the Ditto, because you have to read Fox full hop to counter Fox full hop.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times being in the corner here, it's really safe to do a full hop, because you do a full hop, if they throw out a move, you get a free punish, or maybe like a grab, like drill grab back throw, you get all, or like drill shine off the edge, you get all kinds of nasty stuff here. Yeah. So it's really common to just full hop here, and then if they don't give you anything for free, you just grab ledge and ledge dash. So like there's him reading this option is pretty much just him reading like a good option, not necessarily reading you. It's just a really good option. So I would just say that if you are playing somebody who reads this, try not to full hop there in the corner. You know, like that's kind of all it is like if they're reading this, like if he does this and you just shield, and then he does this, and you just wave dash out, you're just going to kill him. So it is kind of an all-or-nothing read on his part. You just have to not fall into it. Like, that's really all there is to it. And then right here, there are a couple options that are really good here. You can either do wall jump side B, like double jump, wall jump side B right here.
I think he took my double jump, by the way.
You definitely have a double jump right now.
I do? Okay.
Yes, you do. Because you double jump right here into the up B.
Oh.
So
nice.
Yeah, so you just full hopped right here and got hit. So you shine stall, you can do double jump, wall jump, side B, double jump, wall jump, up B, or double jump, wall jump, air dodge on stage. All three of those are pretty good here.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't air dodge. I don't ever double jump, wall jump, air dodge.
Wall jump, air dodge is really good. I have to do it as Falco a lot because he's kind of bad at sweet spotting.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I try to do like the mix up around thing.
Okay, get this.
Yeah, and I also have like a huge habit of double shining and then like getting stuck in it and then full hop out back airing.
Oh, that's really common. Yeah, you just gotta. I used to practice double shine wave shine like a lot, or like double shine wave dash out like a lot. Like I would do it across the stage, like plink plink, plink plink. Like you just kind of have to grind it.
Yeah, I've been grinding it recently actually, but not necessarily specifically because of that, but yeah, I don't know why you
Yeah,
picked
like
that
some
though.
stuff like that is like it's not as much a habit as more of like you consistently mess something up and then you have to work your way out of it. So a lot of
Yeah,
times that's more of just like you need to practice the tech skill more than like fixing a habit because you would never do that habit if your tech skill there was fluid.
yeah. I think I definitely drop this chain grab. Yeah, I do. Can I get
Yeah, I
back air
mean
grab?
so far you've just been outplaying this guy really hard and you just haven't hit your punishes. FD is also a little weird at the Fox Ditto. I would say that this is like by far the most inconsistent stage in the Ditto. It's really hard to get like kind of true outplays here. A lot of it is just kind of pure mix-ups. Like pure outplays on this stage are just I don't know. It's because a lot of times the outplays in the Fox Ditto come from the full hops,
Yeah,
and in the full hop being like really difficult to punish, mostly because of the platforms. But on this stage, there aren't any platforms, so like any full hop you do can technically just get read and punished. And
yeah,
so there's not really like a super like oh you just have to play like this and then you'll always beat worst players on FD. And it's a lot of times why I think I like some foxes don't favor FD in the Ditto because it's very like high variance. Like you can get four stocked by someone who will never even take the full set from you.
yeah. I never counterpicked FD in tournament because of like specific things like that.
But the only really important thing on this stage is don't mess up your tech skill and definitely don't mess up your punishes. Like you need to hit your punishes on this stage or oh I did a lesson with this Mark before.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm good,
but yeah, like
especially
you
after your lesson.
on FD it's mostly just you gotta hit your punishes and you gotta not mess up. The general plan and neutral you were taking on FD seems pretty fine to me.
Okay.
I think you could be going for a like more like basically like at zero. So like when you're like at this percent, you're very focused on like I'm gonna get my grab and then I'm gonna chain grab them to death. And then as
Yeah.
soon as they get out of the combo and they're at like 30, you're just kind of like I gotta hit them with literally any move, like any move, go moves, go. And it's kind of like you're a lot more likely like you're going for like running shine drill and like the back air, and it's like whoa, wait a second, just a second ago you were super down, and like yeah, the back air at knockdown percent is fine because it leads to the grab, but like these types of things like here, you just sort of start fighting and you kind of like lose sight of the whole like one punish one kill thing that you have when he's like look at you, you're just kind of like running around Naren, you know.
Yeah.
And so this creates a situation where like a lot of neutral wins that you're getting are not leading to a kill. Like how many neutral wins did you get here? So like this one that you get here, this in a Pro Fox Ditto, this would be the stock. Over an overwhelming amount of the time, this would be the stock. So that's like one. So you get one, and then how many openings do you get? Okay, so you fail there, get out.
I dashed in.
This one is kind of not really a second one, just because there's really hard to punish that. Then you mess up there, mess up there. Okay, that's two. He should have died out of that. There's three. He should have died out of that. There's four. He should have died out of that because you got the knockdown. There's five. He definitely should have died out of that one because he teched towards the edge there. There's six. Seven. He definitely should have died in tech chase there. And then he kills you. And you're like, why am I losing this? And it's like, oh, I wonder. Maybe it's because, you had 7 stocks worth of openings and you didn't kill him.
Yeah, I also struggle with punish game in case you didn't notice.
And so it's like, on this stage, like, that is super critical. And it's basically like, I would love to give you advice in this matchup further, but if you're playing it on FD and you're not killing out of your punishes, like basically you should be beating this guy really consistently if you were punishing harder.
Yeah,
And so like it's hard to give you advice versus a person who you should just be auto beating if you punished harder. And like, if you punished, like, once you start punishing harder, you'll beat this guy easily. And then you'll go on to play better players. And then when you play those better players and you're punishing well, the holes in your neutral will become a lot more obvious. And it'll all make a lot more sense because you're playing against the level of player that you should be, instead of against the level of a player that you're kind of rocking, but you're still losing because you're not killing him.
Yeah, I think this instance was like really weird for me because like this was like some guy on unranked. This is why I wanted to talk about it. I was like, usually like I didn't know what was the problem because usually I don't lose games to people on unranked. Maybe because like maybe this was an off day for me, or maybe I'm just this dog. Usually probably this dog, but
well, I mean, unranked is everyone.
Yeah,
there are definitely better players and worse players on unranked, you know?
Yeah, so like that's what I was like wondering. So I'm aware how much enemy neutral wins I get. I'm definitely a guy who needs to work on. So like the past like year or so, I've been grinding punish game a lot because I know like this is like one of the main things I struggle with. I've always been okay at edge guarding, but like combos and like tech chasing especially now is something I've been really focusing on. Especially after I'm definitely gonna work on it after this.
Yeah, I want you to just sit there and Uncle Punch and tech chase for like 5 hours.
Like I've been practicing dash back out of crouch too, recently. So I guess
Nah. Okay, listen. You're not hitting. So the dash back out of crouch stuff. There's 2 layers to tech chasing, or technically 3 for Fox. So layer 1 is you need to hit any time they actually tech.
Okay.
And you're not doing that yet. So you thinking about dash back out of crouch is like assuming that you've accepted a public speaking gig in Spanish when you've learned like 4 words, and it's like no. Like you gotta learn the thing first. So you need to learn the tech chases when they actually tech first. And so the first thing I would say is go into Uncle Punch, grab every tech. And this is the first thing I tell people in tech chasing with Fox in general. Like, basically practice grabbing, tech in place, tech back, tech forward. Grab every time. When they miss tech, ignore it. Don't grab, but just ignore it. So that is the first thing you should learn. Once you're pretty good at that, then you say, okay, now I grab everything that's not mistech. For mistech, I crouch. Then you get all of the mistech options down. Once you get all the mistech options down, then you move into tech chasing out of shine, where you wave shine forward, and then you have a very difficult tech chase on the tech, and then if they miss tech, you have to very quickly get close to them and crouch, and then perform the mistech tech chase. So it's kind of like step 1, normal techs, grabbing all the different techs. Step 2, grab all the techs and also deal with the mistech. And then step 3 is the shine tech chase, where it's kind of like a very difficult mix of both. And then once you have all of those, your punish is going to get way, way better. But your basic tech chasing is failing right now. So that's something you really need to work on.
Okay. So I think I just learned tech chasing in the wrong order from what you just described to me, because I crouch for like get up attack, because a lot of people get up attack, and when people are tech in place, I like to just shine tech in place. I do the tech trap, I do wave shine down tilt every time. Yeah, I do stuff like that a lot. I don't know if there's a good example of it in the game, but I've been doing a lot of the tech trap stuff, and obviously I do Thunder's combo as well, as much of it is a meme kind of now, at least on Falco.
Yeah.
But and yeah, I guess I've always struggled with like the base tech chases. I always just do up smash or like up smash until they decide to hold out. Yeah. Okay. And I've been working on platform tech chasing for a while as well. But like my base ground tech chasing is actually pretty bad, especially on tech away. So that makes a lot of sense that you're saying this to me now.
Yeah. So getting that consistent, like, it should be second nature. it's like extremely important for Fox. Like Fox. So like, have you ever made a character who's not Fox?
I played Falco for a bit. I played Fox and Falco, so yeah.
Okay, because like basically like Fox's tech chases are so easy compared to like the whole cast that when I see a Fox main and they can't tech chase, I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, this character has like 40 frames to react to attacks, and he has a move that makes tech in place even easier, you know, shining the tech in place. And
Yeah.
so the thing is you want the shine on tech in place to be an option you use, not a crutch you rely on.
Okay. Yeah, it's more of a crutch that I rely on.
Because there are definitely spots where somebody will tech in place and like, let's say you didn't perfectly like align yourself to get like the grab, and or maybe it's in a spot where the grab isn't quite as good, and you're like, oh, you know, I think I'll tech trap here and do wave shine down tilt. Like, that's okay. That's like totally good. I'm not saying the tech trap with the wave shine down tilt is bad here at all. It's really good. But if you're like, tech in place is something that I can only cover with wave shine tech trap, then what happens when somebody techs in place in the corner?
Yeah, they go to ledge.
Yeah, they just get to ledge for free. Like, wave shine down tilt is not a coverall, and it's I actually think that like when people are first learning the game or first learning Fox, it's totally okay to use it because it's like, hey, tech in place reactions are hard. Feel free to just shine it. But then like, you know, you're kind of getting better at the game. You're trying to be good, right? Like, you need to start grabbing every tech chase, or at least being able to, is what I'm saying. You know.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying.
Also, this is really funny. It's 55566. That's kind of insane that I paused at that exact time.
That is really insane. I don't know how much time we have left.
Let me look. We have about 13 minutes.
Okay. If you go to, I'll watch another Fox Ditto game because we consistent with that. If you go to 350, 340, 50, it's like 30 minutes, 40 seconds.
30 minutes, 40 seconds.
No, actually 35 minutes, 40 seconds. My bad.
35 minutes.
Yeah, around the beginning of the Dreamland game. Yeah, something around that. Yeah.
Oh, you're playing Sora.
Yeah, I'm playing Sora. I play like other people in the Ditto a lot too. Like I played Zamu and like other people. Yeah. I was just wondering what you would think, since we focused on the Fox Ditto. I was wondering what you'd think more about this game. I don't think my Punish It game. I was looking at some of the other games just before you did this, but I definitely do not hit like a lot of reaction tech chases. What do you got to say about this? Did you see something there, or are you just pausing in general?
No, I paused it so I could listen to you.
Yeah.
This was really good though, except for the jab. I mean, the jab was okay.
I've been trying to up smash here, but the wave dash is really hard for me to so you know how like the new meta is, instead of jab resetting there, you wave shine up smash it because of SDI on jab. Sora has hit the SDI on jab before, so I realized I was already late, so I should just up smash because I
would say the best thing to do out of this spot is probably to crouch tech chase. Like, if you're trying to be optimal right here. Yeah. It's probably like drill, wave shine, walk up, crouch.
Okay.
And you could actually you should have been able to hit this jab, but you didn't walk after your wave shine.
Oh, I didn't walk.
Like, the jab can be definitely like later than this, and you can just wave shine, walk up, jab here.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean I do a lot of this drill stuff. That was a situation where I actually made the right. I actually picked the decision before Sora did.
And yeah, see, this is what happens when you get used to beating this with shine, you know? You don't get anything. Whereas if you grab this, or were able to up smash it again, even, you know, maybe the up smash wouldn't be quite as good, or up tilt is probably the best thing to do here, but I'm not expecting you to CC here and then get the up tilt. But even just a grab here would have been really nice, I think.
Yeah, I don't...
Okay, you get this.
I missed that good. Yeah, I've been trying to... I did the dash attack later. I gotta lab that out again.
This is definitely an Armada shine.
Yeah.
Like, You should not be grabbing edge here. Right here. As soon as you do this, you know that he can't go to the ledge, right? He has to up B down here, therefore you can just jump off and shine him. So that was a guaranteed kill, and you would have killed at 0.
Cody tells me about that all the time.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah. I don't know why I late naired there. That's bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
I don't die here. Yeah, that's I'd never hit that tech chase.
Like this one. Yeah, you gotta hit these though. That's why, and part of it is because you put yourself in run right here. Something you can do in this spot that might make it a little easier for you is to foxtrot. So like when you see this, tap forward on the control stick rather than holding it, and Fox will kind of go to this position, and then you'll have a better chance of tech chasing this. Because here you got stuck in run, and you're like, what am I going to do? Wave dash back or something? So you just miss it. But if you just do the foxtrot, you'll have a lot better shot of actually catching him.
Okay.
Nice recovery. Okay, that was good.
Did I wait through invincibility here? Oh, I don't go out. Oh, well, I guess at least I run away a little bit.
Okay.
Forward throw. Oh, he didn't forward throw. I thought he was going to forward throw me. Yeah, that's good, Josh. Yeah. I think, is that one of those positions where it's like you're around the table kind of thing? Like
which
spot? Like when we're just like in the center here, like this.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't say anything about this, because for me, this is just like, yeah, you're both looking for stuff, but nothing's happening yet, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely nothing to be frustrated at.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's really common for some reason for almost everybody I teach. They're like, yeah, they just do moves sometimes all the way across the whole stage, and I can't hit them for it. And it's like, yeah, like that's okay. Like,
yeah.
But it for some reason seems to be like a really common option that people feel like a guilt kind of that like they haven't beaten their opponent within the first 2 seconds, so they're failing.
Yeah. And also Sora knows how to tech chase.
Yeah, exactly. And the difference it makes. Yeah, the difference it makes between like him getting a kill, because you're like, look at this. So it's like, all right. Neutral. Neutral. Oh my goodness, the greatest read of all time. And then it's like, oh well, he got away because he slid off. But you still have an opening. So you get the grab. Oh, the combo. If this was Cody, he'd be dead. And it's like, okay, well, you missed the tech chase. Let's see, what should you do here? That was okay. It was a weird. I probably would have missed this one too.
Yeah, he gets the knockdown.
Okay, that one you should have definitely hit.
Yeah, I practiced that one, but that was a good back here by him.
Okay, but okay, so this is funny because it's like, okay, so you're getting comboed, and then so that's the thing is like Sora he's not actually great at tech chasing either, so I can understand why he's like missing these, but it's like notice that like even though he's hitting you, you're not dead yet. You're kind of just fine. Like, if you get to a point where you get an opening off of this, instead of dying here, like, it just makes such a huge difference that he's killing you off of this, you know?
Yeah, it makes, yeah. Up tilt there. Oh, he needs to grab.
Okay, yes, yes. So, oh, look at that tech chase by him. That was really good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and he hits that. Oh, he should.
And so the thing is like, there's nothing that he's doing here that's like, you can't really be doing. It's more just that like it feels overwhelming because, man, he's really good at getting those grabs.
Yeah, he was telling me, he's just like, yeah,
you gotta kill out of stuff like this. Like, if you're not killing out of stuff like this, you might as well not be playing the game. Like, just in the sense that like you don't like. This is like a very ideal situation. He is at low percent. He's off the stage. Like, you need to be killing out of this stuff.
I don't know why. I guess I gotta practice the dash attack thing. But maybe I just need to fucking. I think I do the. Cody has the edge guard. You shine and you fall down, and then if you think they're gonna do the DI where they fall to the ledge, you just re-grab ledge again,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do the dash attack there. But he's at low enough percent where you can just the ASDI up air dodge, but then I can just cover that by crouching and stuff. But that's a whole thing. But yeah, you get the point.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that the main issue. Okay. So like, oh man, slide off instantly.
Yeah.
So that was just good by him. But yeah, so like, okay, so this is the fundamental issue of your gameplay right now. Is this? Oh, you outplayed it big time, and you're dead. And it's like okay, like no matter how good you get, if that situation ends in you being in a disadvantage, you can't possibly win.
Yeah.
So like, it's interesting because you were kind of talking about bad habits, but like actually when I'm watching your gameplay, it doesn't look like you have that bad of habits. I think the biggest issue is just your punish, like your tech chases and your punish. And like obviously the stuff we talked about was still important, right? But just watching these matches, it's like the punish is so big. And he was kind of smacking you anyway. But this should have been a lot closer. Like I said, like this game should have started out with you just killing him. Like right here, you do this, like that, jump off shrine, he's dead. But it's like consistently this game, he just went this angle where he's a little higher than your aerial, and he just dodges it. So it's like. Okay. Yeah, so basically, like, I think you're at a point where, like, yeah, you probably do have some bad habits, but you don't really get to see which ones are super relevant until you start hitting harder. Like, I legitimately believe that, like, you not hitting hard enough is kind of, like, holding back your other stuff.
Interesting. All right, well, I guess I know what I'm going to practice, huh?
Yeah, so it's like, I want you to be hitting way harder, more consistently, and tech chasing. Because even if you can only do a 2-hit combo, if you do a 2-hit combo, and then you tech chase, and you do a 2-hit combo, you tech chase, you do a 2-hit combo, that's the Moki. You just kill people by tech chasing over and over. And so, like, I feel like the matches you're in, I can't even, like, look at the specifics of neutral, because if we could spend 10 lessons in a row making your neutral like fire, and you would not beat any of the people that you're losing to right now. So it's kind of like if you can start hitting your combos better, then the reason you're losing will be your neutral. But right now, because the reason you're losing is you're not getting your kills, like you're not hitting your edge guards, and you're not hitting your tech chases, and you're not hitting your punishes, like, until you're doing those, I can't really see what your other weaknesses are, because those are, like, so glaring.
Okay. That makes sense. I do agree. I was like, I remember I watched a game, and like my execution was so bad, and like I won, and I was just like, dude, like if my punish, like I felt like that before, like I think like if I just punish a little bit harder, like I just win.
Mm-hmm.
But even when I'm like doing bad things over and over again, but
mm-hmm.
I guess I definitely agree with that. That makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like, well, if you've seen my neutral, I kind of just spam things that are good until I get an opening.
No. See, that's the thing, is that's fine. Like, your neutral is like it's kind of like different levels of the game. And let's say you're on like level 4 right now or whatever. And until you get to, and so like at level 4, your neutral is maxed out, but your punish is like 0 out of 10. Or like 2 out of 10. And so it's like, because the thing is there are spots on FD where I was like, oh, he's got a punish, but because you're not finishing your punishes, they might as well not exist.
Yeah.
And so it's like, until your punish is maxed out at level 4, like you don't need to have Cody level punish, you just need to have a punish that's on par with your neutral. And once you have a punish and neutral that are both maxed out at level 4, then you can go to level 5, and your neutral and your punish can get better from there. But you can't, like, leave your punish in the dust and just keep getting better at neutral, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, we're about at an hour. Do you have any final questions or thoughts?
Nah, I think I asked enough. I think I got a lot of good answers.
Okay, awesome, man.
Mhm.
All right, and you said you already sent the money, so sick.
Yeah, yeah, I sent the money and stuff. Unless you're a different is a different Shepherd Lima that you sent me.
No, no, no.
Then all right.
All right,
Hope.
awesome, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yep, I'll see you around.
Peace.